So episode 4 starts off with Jim Gordon going back to his home to make sure that Barbara's okay. And, he tells Barbara Keene about, the Batman and how he saved their daughter. And Barbara just thinks that he's just joking with her and is like, yeah, there's no time for joking. So she just goes off to go sleep and also make sure her daughter's good. And, also we cut back to the Batcave where Alfred is saying, hey, you certainly made an impression. And Bruce says, "Yeah, I think Jim Gordon knows, Bruce Wayne." And then Alfred's like, "Agreed. I saw his look. At least Harvey doesn't know, and hopefully Jim Gordon can keep a secret." And speaking of that, right there, he got a text from Jim Gordon saying, "Hey, can you meet me tomorrow at a coffee shop?" So the criminal underworld are hearing about this Batman figure who took away Oswald Cobblepot and also the Riddler, and then we see Mr. Freeze. And Mr. Freeze, he is more advanced, like his suit's more advanced. So yeah, and Mr. Freeze is like, hey, well, how much for me to take out this Batman guy? And this person who put the bounty on their head, we don't see his face. Okay, we do not see his face, but you could probably guess who it is. But yeah, we don't see his face. Mr. Freeze, he says, okay, I will go after this Batman guy, and then it goes down the hill from there. Jim Gordon and Bruce Wayne meet. They talk about how Jim obviously knows that he's Batman, and then something's going on. A bank is being destroyed, but no one's robbing the place. Okay, no one's robbing the place. It's just being destroyed and people getting frozen. So Bruce is like, yeah, I'm just gonna go, and Jim's like, okay, I'll meet you there. So yeah, Bruce Wayne, he gets in his suit, aka the Bat suit, and then goes to fight Mr. Freeze, and this is when we get our first Mr. Freeze versus Batman battle. And then Victor, he's like, no, I simply, I'm going to kill you so I can get the money. It's nothing personal. And Bruce is like, no, thank you. I don't feel like dying. So yep, he easily takes out Mr. Freeze, and then we see who is the person that hired Mr. Freeze to try to kill the Batman. And that's also the end of the episode. And the person that hired him the person who hired them is no other than Roman Sionis. And the thing he wants of Batman is that he hears that Batman is taking out a lot of his friends, like the Riddler, Penguin. They're both his friends who paid him a lot of money to do stuff, and he took both of them out, and he's sort of really mad about that. So yeah, that's this episode. We find out Roman Sionis will be the main villain of Gotham season 6. So let's move on to episode 5, and this episode will be the introduction for Harley Quinzel, aka Harley Quinn. And yeah, basically we see Joker in the asylum, and then we see Harley Quinn like sort of doing a therapy thing with him, trying to find out what's going on, and then Joker sorts of puts his non-existing charm on her, and it actually somehow works because I don't know, it's a comic plot, whatever, plot convenience. So yeah, we meet Harley Quinzel, and we see sort of what happened to Joker during his time, and in this, he's saying, "Oh hey, I was a struggling comedian. I was a drug dealer," and obviously that's not the case, because that's obviously not the case. And then he says, "Hey, if I had to choose like a origin, if I had to choose a backstory, I'd rather it be multiple choice, because most people, they don't really know about Jeremiah's past, but they know who Jeremiah is. Like they know who he is, but they don't know his past a lot. Besides Bruce Wayne and all of them." But Harley Quinn, she's one of the people who does, and so she actually believes every single story he tells, even though that they're all different stories, but she believes all of them. And then he sort of turns her crazy, and we see a flash forward over the next few months, and then she'd become more crazier and crazier. And now we are in like the last part. I'm just gonna pick a random time. It was set in it was set in the spring, and this episode, it was like this episode was also set in the spring, but this part of the episode was actually set in whatever, the winter. Yeah, I'm decided to make it the winter, so it's a huge time jump to the winter of whatever this takes place at. So yep, it was a time jump, and Harley Quinn just becomes crazy and just sort of just goes on a rampage. He kills the leader, like the sort of leader doctor there, and then she gets taken away by the Batman because the Batman hears about it, stops her, and stops her from killing any more doctors. And that is the origin of Harley Quinn's cell, and she is in the cell right next to the Jeremiah, who is now going by the Joker in this episode. He gets the name the Joker finally. So in episode 6, we see Batman, he got in a fight with Harley Quinn, obviously. It is the winter right now. And then, he hears about, Roman Sionis recruiting more people, except this person who's, recruiting people to come and kill him. He's going by the Black Mask. Over the past few months, he, turned in a whole bunch of other bad guys like Mad Hatter, Poison Ivy, and so yep, he turned them over the past few months and even more. And then we see a couple new characters because this is I want to introduce new villains, and we see Count Vertigo, and he is here to kill Bruce Wayne because he was hired by Roman Sionis. So yep, well he's here to kill Batman, not Bruce Wayne. So yeah, Batman, he goes to fight him, but then he uses Vertigo uses powers, and then sort of knocks Batman unconscious, and the Vertigo is about to kill him until Alfred comes and scares Vertigo away, and so does Jim Gordon. So yep, Vertigo runs. He was close to killing Batman, so he's kind of really mad that he wasn't able to do it yet. So yeah, but then Batman has to come up with a way to not, I guess, not see or hear or go even near of that rhymed. Count Vertigo's hypnotizing thing, whatever you want to call it. So he uses an ideal. He has an ideal, and he thinks, wait, what if I don't go near him? So he creates a remote control battering, and it basically connects to his eyepieces where he can see where it's going and control it. And he makes it go right towards Count Vertigo's Vertigo thingy that makes you dizzy. And then now he's able to just attack Vertigo hand to hand, and he obviously beats him. So yeah, and Batman's suit is kind of damaged. So he's like, hey, what if I get a new one? What if I get a new suit? And so now he gets more traditional looking Batman suit and not the Noel suit. That's he had in the first, for 6 episodes. So he has sort of like a Dark Knight inspired suit, like the Dark Knight inspired suit, except not really. So yeah, it's still a little bit different. His eyes, they're mostly white because he wants to have the night vision. So yeah, he goes, and then we see a long glide of him just gliding around the city, and then we see his new suit. And that is the end of episode 6. Well, that is the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed. The next episode will be tackling episode 7 through 9. So, yep, hope you all enjoyed this video. And peace out.